So the first website I looked at is the Neighborhood Scout, and it ranks Rochester as being 27 on the crime index. Out of 100 would be the safest. So Rochester is considered safer than 27% of US cities. And then here's some more additional information. If you look at the niche website as places to live, Rochester actually ranks as 3 out of 228 best cities to buy a house in America, 23 out of 228 best cities to raise a family, and 28 out of 228 best cities to live in America. So to me, this, just by looking at numbers, this means that Rochester should be relatively pretty safe, right? For it to be one of the best places to raise a family. So for crime and safety, niche gave Rochester a C+, which to me seems a little surprising, but you know, I want to be transparent, and this is what I found online. Then this was a kind of interesting article that basically summarized how I feel about Rochester, and they said, you know, for the most part, Rochester is one of the safest little big cities in Minnesota. It's actually the third largest city in Minnesota after Minneapolis and St. Paul. You know, and there are really no rough parts of areas of town that you would want to avoid. And I agree. I mean, I've lived in Orlando, Florida, New York City, New Jersey. I even lived abroad in Rome, and I feel like I can walk anywhere in Rochester. You know, even at night, if you're walking in the downtown area, like maybe going to work downtown, at the hospital, I feel like it's relatively safe. Obviously, you know, anything can happen anywhere, anytime, but for the most part, I would say that I feel pretty safe here. And then this other website, bestplaces.net, they rank Rochester 11, whereas the average US city is 22.7. And this is on violent crime. And then property crime, they rank Rochester at 32.3, and the average is 35.4. You know, just some information for you to check out if you want, or think about if you're worried about Rochester being safe. I guess I talked a little bit about my experience already. And by the way, I am wearing flannel. You know, it's starting to get chilly here in Rochester, so why not? From my experience of being here in Rochester, I usually lock my car. Sometimes I don't, sometimes I forget. I don't worry too much about people breaking into the car. My wife is always telling me that I should just lock it anyways. As far as like, you know, going for a jog or being outside, like I said earlier, I don't feel like, you know, it's dangerous or anything, even at night. You know, my wife usually goes to work at the hospital early in the mornings, and you know, obviously you always want to be smart and you know, be aware of your surroundings and know what's going on, or if you see something weird, you know, obviously don't walk by that or whatever. So you have, obviously you always have to be, you know, smart. But compared to big metros and other cities, I feel like the most dangerous place in Rochester is so much safer than the most dangerous place in like other cities or metro areas. Now, if you want to kind of, let's say you're thinking about moving to Rochester and you're looking at home and you want to know like, okay, well, is this a good or bad area or whatever, there's this website, Rochester 911, that you can go and look. Let me just zoom out so you can see all of Rochester. And I don't know, let's say you're thinking about maybe this home in this neighborhood, Country Club Manor. You can kind of see like here, November 4th, there was a call for animal control. Here, there was some criminal damage to a property. Halloween, October 31st, alarm went off, dispute. So you can kind of look around depending on the areas you're interested in. Kind of a cool thing to do if you want. I was looking at some things to do here. This website has some, you know, examine your front door, make sure that it's, you know, secure. Basically, you have good locks. Make sure you lock your doors at night, right? I think the more light you have in the outside of your home, that's gonna deter, you know, people to break in. Another thing that you can do that maybe it's not as common nowadays is get to know your neighbors. It's always helpful, like if you have your neighbors kind of looking out after your home, you know, especially if you're going on vacation or long term you're gonna be away. Always, you know, we always let our neighbors know, and I feel like that helps a lot, because if they see something weird going on, they're gonna know that we're not home or shouldn't be home, and so they'll, you know, keep an eye out. And then you can always we have the Ring doorbells. You can always add those to, or whatever brand you want to get, but having that video on your front door, that's always helpful. And you know, lastly, like don't leave, you know, packages from Amazon accumulate in your front door, because that's gonna attract people to wanna, you know, steal them. I know that's messed up and people still do it, but just a couple things you can do to keep your house safe. Hopefully you found this helpful. If you have questions, feel free to message me. I'm always happy to talk about like different neighborhoods, things like that. And thank you so much for watching.